Rangers head into a crucial stretch of their season with a development that could subtly shift the club's outlook for the weeks ahead. As the squad prepares for a demanding run of fixtures and attention begins to turn toward the challenges January may bring, a recent reveal has provided a lift at just the right moment. While the full implications will unfold in due course, this update offers an unexpected boost that may influence how Danny Röhl approaches the upcoming period. Let's break this down in today's video, along with all the other Rangers news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Rangers have been handed a significant and genuinely timely boost as they prepare to navigate one of the most demanding stretches of their season. With fixtures piling up throughout December and early January, the club have been bracing itself for the loss of two influential first-team players to the Africa Cup of Nations. However, circumstances have shifted in their favour, easing the strain on Danny Röhl's squad at a moment when depth and continuity are essential. Going into the winter period, Rangers expected both Mohamed Diomande and Nasser Jaiga to be called upon by their respective nations. Each player has 8 caps, and both had been part of recent international discussions, making their involvement at AFCON appear highly likely. Diomande, capped by Ivory Coast, and Jaiga, currently on loan and representing Burkina Faso, were viewed as almost certain selections, meaning Röhl had been preparing to compensate for their absence during a pivotal run of fixtures. But the situation has taken a notable turn. Only one of the pair will be heading to the tournament in Morocco after Ivory Coast omitted Diomande from a Merseyside squad. The midfielder, who's been pushing for greater prominence on the international stage, has been left out despite previously being considered a rising option for the national team. A key figure involved in discussions around the squad remarked that the decision reflected the competition for places and the specific balance required in midfield. A blow for Diomande, but one that reshapes Rangers' outlook considerably. Diomande's exclusion stems partly from his lack of recent international involvement. He last featured for Ivory Coast in June, appearing in friendly matches against New Zealand and Canada. He did not take part in World Cup qualifiers or subsequent friendlies between September and November. And another figure close to the squad noted that continuity played a major part in the final selection, ultimately working against the player's chances. For Rangers, though, the repercussions are entirely positive. With Diomande staying in Glasgow, Röhl avoids losing a central midfielder who has become increasingly integral to the team's structure and tempo. One coaching voice around the club highlighted the importance of keeping him available, stating, "His energy and discipline in the middle of the pitch are crucial for how we want to play during this run." Although he is suspended for Thursday's Europa League meeting with Ferencváros, Diomandes will return immediately afterward for Monday's Premiership clash with Hibs. More importantly, his availability stretches into early January, ensuring he can feature in the high-stakes New Year Old Firm derby against Celtic on January 3rd, a fixture that often carries long-term significance in the title race. Jaiga, meanwhile, will still depart to represent Burkina Faso, leaving Rangers without a defensive option during the tournament. But the unexpected retention of Diomande softens the overall impact and provides Röhl with greater stability in the centre of the pitch during one of the most intense phases of the campaign. What initially looked like a double international setback has effectively been halved. And for Rangers, that change could prove vital as they push to maintain momentum through the festive period. In other news, Rangers have stepped up their efforts to secure John Sutter's long-term future by putting forward an improved contract offer that would keep the defender at Ibrox until the summer of 2028. The 29-year-old is currently in the final months of his existing deal, and discussions over an extension have been active for several months as the club attempts to reach an agreement before he enters the open market. It is understood that the proposal on the table includes a notable upgrade to Sutter's basic salary and guarantees a further 2 years, reflecting the value placed on him by the Rangers hierarchy. A source close to the negotiations explained that the initial phase of talks had been driven by sporting director Kevin Thelwell, who played a central role before other senior figures at the club took charge of the process. Those discussions have since continued with input from representatives of the 49ers Enterprises Group, who remain influential in strategic planning behind the scenes. Despite the progress, negotiations are still ongoing, with Sutter's camp yet to reach a final decision. The club remains hopeful but patient, aware that the defender's situation is complicated by his latest injury setback. Sutter is currently sidelined and facing a tight race to return in time for the New Year derby against Celtic, a fixture that could have a major influence on the momentum of the season. His recovery is also being closely monitored by the Scotland national team staff ahead of this summer's World Cup finals. If fit, Sutter is expected to be named in Steve Clarke's squad, with Scotland preparing to face Haiti, Morocco, and Brazil on the world stage. One figure close to the national setup noted, "If John comes through his rehab as planned, he'll be right in the mix. The manager knows what he brings when he's available." Sutter's journey to Rangers began in early 2022, when he agreed a pre-contract that ultimately prompted Hearts to sell him before his Tynecastle deal expired. Now, with another contract decision looming, Rangers are keen to avoid any repeat of uncertainty and want clarity well before the summer window opens. The defender is not the only first-team figure approaching the end of his deal. Captain James Tavernier and goalkeeper Liam Kelly are also out of contract at the end of the season, adding further layers to the club's workload in what is shaping up to be a significant period of squad planning. Tavernier, now into his 10th year at Ibrox, is in line for a testimonial in recognition of his long service, while Kelly has grown into an increasingly valuable member of the group since returning to Glasgow. Although Kelly has been used mainly as backup to Jack Butland, he remains highly regarded and continues to feature prominently for Scotland. One coaching staff member remarked, "Liam's mentality and reliability make him an important part of the squad, even when he's not playing every week." His status as a club-trained player for European competitions also gives him added importance within the structure shaped by Danny Roll. For Rangers, the priority remains securing stability across the spine of the team, and tying Sutter down to new terms is viewed as a key element of that strategy. With negotiations continuing and the defender working toward full fitness, both sides are moving toward a crucial point that will determine his future at Ibrox for years to come. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so join our fast growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.